Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a tournament game with you guys that I played at the Parma Chess Club against Wisla Sadcheski. I think I'm saying that wrong, but it's the best I can do. He's a 1900 and is referred to as a strong coffeehouse player. He's also Polish and has a very thick accent. He is a joy to have at the Parma Chess Club. I always enjoy, um, speaking with him and getting games in with him. So in this game, I had the white pieces. I went e4. He went e6. And I'm going to try to analyze most of this game without the engine, by the way. So I'm basically going to be describing what I think is going on, but I know what the mistakes are, and there is a key moment we'll focus on as well. Okay, so d5 is the normal French idea. That's why they put the pawn on e6 to get d5, and then if we capture, they could take back with the pawns. That's sort of the point of that. I went knight d2, which is the Tarrasch variation. The idea is to organize my knights in a way that will protect d4. Knight e7. This is kind of a strange move, but this is his style. So we've had games where he actually does get the knight into f4 very early. So I was aware of this idea. I thought, let's just develop knight g to f3, kind of giving up the Tarrasch idea of routing the knights like this, but he's playing strangely as well. So, all right, he goes knight g6. Now, I went ahead and played an idea. I'm glad I played it, actually. I mean, knights on g6 and b6 are subject to rook pawns. This is something that I've been told many times and something I teach my students as well. So h4, let's play it. I think if he plays h5, giving up the g5 square might be a nice achievement for us. Also, it'll be more difficult for him to castle that side, and then we can go from there. We're still very flexible as well. So I thought h4 was a good move. He counters with c5, which I felt was correct. I see the computer doesn't like it. I said I wasn't going to use the engine, but I have this stupid analysis up still. But I kind of agree with the computer. It does want to do h5, which stops me from playing h5 at some point, which I certainly was thinking about. So he goes c5, and I went c3, protecting my pawn. I could go h5 here. I'm going to turn the annotations off. Okay, so yeah, what happens if we go h5? Because I feel like this is critical. If he tries to jump in, now we kind of have discoveries on that knight. I'm half tempted to go here, but also knight b3. And I feel like this has happened in one of our past games. We also can throw in this check. I don't think it does anything, at least not yet. We could even capture. This move seems premature, though. I feel like if he's going to play knight f4, it needs to be a tempo on this bishop. And then I would retreat it back, most likely. So I think knight f4 is probably not right. Let's just say he goes back home. How could we play from here? Actually, now that it's blocking the bishop, we could take on c5. Okay, I think you're getting the point. This looks like maybe a slightly better way to play h5 first. I just went c3. I mean, it's a rapid game, so I do play these moves fairly quick in the opening these days, which I think is a good practical choice. I wouldn't do that in a classical game, though. Okay, and now he goes d takes, oops, d takes e4, sorry. So again, he's offering me this h5 move, but I mean, I didn't see a reason not to improve my knight, so I did take. And then he took on d4. Okay, and here, yeah, he's kind of threatening to force a trade of queens. Like if I just take, I thought he might go here. And then I have to move my knight again. And then he can trade queens. And I wasn't really liking the look of this, so I'll just check with the engine, but I think black's probably fine. It says white has a slight edge if we play h5. Okay. But I didn't see the need to do this. So I went h5 immediately, which I like. And knight f4 is not available at all this time, right? So he has to go here. And this is starting to look kind of bad, I thought, for black, because, I mean, why are you moving your knight every move? So it's like one of my beginner students. He forgot how the other pieces move. So, so here I give a check. And the idea is kind of funny because, of course, he wants to block with the bishop, but then, yeah, that's checkmate. That's a smothered mate. Same thing if you go with the knight, it's the same thing. So I thought this check was quite good because he can't block it the way he wants to. So he has to go like knight e to c6. This seems fine though. It stops smothered mate because he opened up a square. But he's moving the same piece again, right? Like this knight's gone like this. That's a lot of tempos. So, and then for that reason, I was thinking he doesn't even have time to do this because he's falling way too far behind in development. Okay, so I should prioritize development Paul Morphy style. So I went bishop g5. I'm not sure about this move in hindsight. I mean, he can play f6. During the game, I thought this is kind of nice. I'm provoking more weaknesses. And that is true. But on the other hand, I'm losing time a little bit. And I'm actually giving his king this option to go king f7 and hide there. So I'm not sure about that. But okay, I did play it. And I decided I would just leave this pawn pinned. He went bishop to e7, unpinning it and developing. Yeah, so it seems like he might actually castle kingside now, or he might just play king f7. So now I take the pawn, of course, right? It attacks the pinned knight, putting pressure here as well. So I thought this looked okay. He now castles. So I'm like, all right, fine, I should castle. Originally, I was thinking about going queenside. I'm not exactly sure what I didn't like about that now. I think I just felt that my development is so good that I should just play like that. And I thought if he goes knight takes d4, which he did, I thought I could just take with my pawn. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I misplayed it a little bit. I'm not sure. But it does feel like black is maybe consolidating a bit. Might be okay now. But okay. So he goes queen b6, which I figured he would do, because that does attack the bishop, puts pressure there as well. So I just go here, pins that pawn. Okay, and now I was hoping he would do this during the game because, like, you know, you gotta develop your pieces in castle. But he, you know, He's a 1900. He knows that, but he probably felt he was a little up on the clock, and maybe he felt this will put pressure on me, because now I have to, I'm going to have to find good moves, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like queen takes b2. Okay, I see the computer does call it a blunder. It says he should develop, which is what I would expect. That even puts more pressure on the pawn. Yeah, I would probably go d5, because following the chess principle, when you have more development and a safer king, which we do because of f6, you should break the position open. And okay, let's see. He did something like this. This would be check. King h8. Okay, go from there. I have an idea coming up, so I didn't want to show it in that line. Okay, so yeah, I go d5 immediately. I could also have played rook b1. I think that would also be good. Just the queen would probably go there. But I just went d5 immediately, kind of saving this tempo. And he does take. And now I play check. So I see this as a mistake in the analysis. I should have gone queen takes d5. Huh, I thought of this. I think I thought of this. Yeah, I kind of like that. I do kind of like that. You know what I think is happening maybe is we might be starting to overwork the rook on f8, because we've got a lot of pressure here, and h6 could undermine it more. Okay, so I have ideas coming up, but we're gonna get to that key moment soon, I think. So after king to h8, now I played rook b1. He goes queen a3, saving his queen. Okay, and now here, this is a moment that I'd like to focus on, because, okay, it's a pretty crazy position, and white has better development and more active pieces. So this is one of those moments where if we can play precisely, I think we'll just be winning. But if we let black get their pieces out and get the rooks to the center, we could lose our advantage. So, because black is up a pawn. So if you want to pause your video and find the best move, or a good move, go ahead and do so now. Okay, so in the game, I played queen e2, which computer says is a blunder. And white is better after this move, +1 still. But I think this move is just a little too slow. That's my opinion. And it's a little too, it's like a low-rated player move. Like, hey, I'm gonna take your bishop. I was planning knight g5, but of course he can just avoid this. In the game, he went knight c6, which actually does protect the bishop. But yeah, we end up in some tactics, which I'll get to. But let's talk about some other moves here. Instead of queen e2, this is the main thing I learned from the game. This move h6, if you saw this move, congrats. It's very strong here. And so let's talk about it. Why is this a good move? Well, it's not a slow move. It's not slow because it does attack something right away. We're threatening to take on g7 with check. If we accomplish that, the king is going to open up more, and we can get a strong attack. Also, f6 will be weakened more. And notice we have a lot of pressure there, and we can maybe play queen d4 to add pressure. And we have this rook b3 tempo idea as well, which would hit the queen, and then we swing the rook over into the attack. So all of this is why h6 is strong, but it's like, but they have other options. So it's essentially a pawn break, but it's also what I would call a disruption move, which these types of moves are fascinating me lately. I've been seeing it a lot, and I had a whole lesson on it also. Maybe that's why I'm seeing it more. I thought about this move during the game, but I just didn't understand it enough to play it. And that means I need to learn, right? Because had I understood the ideas behind it better, I definitely would have played it. Like, my intuition was saying to play it, but I didn't understand the move. So I don't like to play moves I don't understand, unless it's blitz. So yeah, h6. What a cool move. Now, if you guys said, here, that is a good move too. I'm not going to hold that against you. I certainly thought about that one as well. The reason I didn't take is kind of superficial, but it kind of pins down this bishop, right? And it pins down the pawn. So I thought, with us getting in time pressure, I wanted to leave that element in the position, at least for now. And that's why I didn't play that one. And then there was one other move that was good. I guess I will use the engine. Oh yeah, rook b3, of course. We can play that immediately if we want to. So, but we're going to analyze h6 because this is the one that I'm learning the most from, and I think you'll find it interesting. So on h6, okay, if they take, which is the first thing we have to look at, a couple things have happened, right? g7 was propping up the f6 pawn. It was also keeping the g file closed. And remember, we have this idea. So, and in addition to that, there's never going to be g5 to kick away this bishop now. And we could even play queen h5, which is, I think, the correct way to play this, because it comes with tempo immediately on that. And with that rook b3, rook g3 coming, I feel like this is like not good at all. So I don't know what black should do here necessarily, but let's say they just, develop. I don't know. If they just develop, I think we could just take. I don't see how this could possibly be good, right? So I don't know what they should do. I guess bishop f5, let's play. Trying to guard, and maybe we'll take the knight. But then if we do this, now we have a checkmate threat. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out very well for them. If they try something like rook g8, we can definitely take this. This should do it. That should do it, right? That's me. Okay, so as you can see, taking is very risky. So taking is sort of not a good idea. But on any pawn break, there's 3 responses to calculate. What if they take? What if they push past? And what if they ignore it and do something else? So we rolled out ignoring because, taking that. Did we roll it out? I'll show you what happens if they ignore it. I mean, I don't know what they should do, but let's just say this, I guess. I would definitely take that, right? Definitely going to take that. They go here. I feel like rook b3 is the way to go now. I could go queen a5 or this one. I'm not sure which is better. This one helps guard f6. Ooh, okay. There was another idea the computer had here. Instead of check, which is also good, but not as good as it was because they can block with the bishop. That was sort of my idea with bishop f5, but now we can play here. And okay, this is getting rough. Maybe the queen can come in. Not yet, but maybe we come in this way. Well, they got to do something about the bishop, right? Computer gives knight d7. This looks so awkward. I mean, I guess it's working for now. But, okay, I'm just going to follow the computer line. Like, if knight g3, bishop there. Okay, doesn't this lose material? Because, like, if they take. That should win material. This is still pinned, by the way. We're about to play here. So they have to unpin. Let's check though. We still win more. So wow. Okay, so as you can see, it goes wrong really fast. Yeah, and if they don't play bishop f5, like let's say they just play, I don't know this one. I'm not saying it's a good move, but I just want to show what happens. I feel like this idea is just so good. Like they're getting mated, right? This is just, yeah, this is cool because now, can we take on f6? I guess the knight's guarding it too. I want to distract the rook and play rook g8. That's what I want to do. But okay, we can get the queen in. It's simple chess, right? Let's just mate them like that. Okay. I think you get the point. So now we've ruled out the two of the responses. So here, h6, now they can push past. And I think it was only calculating g6, but of course the computer showed me g5 is a move. It's probably the best one because it comes with tempo. So pushes past but comes with tempo. It's also a little more weakening though. I mean, I could just imagine this diagonal becoming a bigger problem now as well. But let's look at g6. This is the one I was analyzing. And this is the variation that caused me not to play it during the game. Because I was like, well, you know, I don't know what this does for me. Although I know it kind of looks good. But I don't know. I didn't want to go for this. So g6 weakens f6. So that's mainly what it's doing. And it also weakens this entire diagonal. And I think this is what I failed to realize during the game. But now that I'm looking at it, I mean, that diagonal looks good. So now the next move becomes obvious. Queen d4. We increase the pressure. Also, attacks f6 again. So that's tough. So I feel like this is just too good. Now they can guard with the queen. That is true. But now we can just add pressure. Let's do our rook b3 idea. You know? And us, the computer now. Yeah, it says knight c6 now. Okay. We could take that. I don't really want to. Yeah, I was scared of this during the game too. Computer just says we just stay on the diagonal. And wants all the moves to stay on the diagonal, except, and it also likes queen e3. So let's go here. That stays on the diagonal. Knight e5. And rook c1 or queen back to d4. So this is an infiltration move. Okay, I'm not saying we have anything like completely concrete here. Actually, we do though. Oh, never mind. They could still play g5. Okay, never mind. Okay, now it gets crazy with tactics because we can take, and if they take back, we win the knight. Okay, so but clearly the position that resulted there is like borderline, like it's just on the edge for black, and that's definitely a better way to play. But we have to analyze one last move, and that's g5. So what if they push past with tempo? Here we could think about sacrificing. Oh my gosh, you know what? I thought about this during the game too, but I just didn't fully believe it, and I didn't have enough time to go deep. But if we sack on g5, let's say they take, I mean, now queen d4 hits, and that pawn is extremely useful, right? Like, I don't know what they do here. Like, if they just block, take it. Now we're lined up like that. If they take that, that's checkmate. So they can't do that. So what to do, right? Like, what to do? Check the queen, I guess. Now if we're like, haha, discovery, I'm gonna win your rook, then they take our queen and we cry. So let's not do that one. So let's go. Oh, we take the knight, of course. Just take it. Okay, this has to be mate somehow. I mean, everything's mate, right? I like this one. Okay. So, wow. So now you've seen the analysis that justifies this move h6 and why it's so strong. So that was mainly what I wanted to cover in this game analysis. But now let's see the rest of the game, because I went queen e2, which is a blunder just because there were so many other good moves. So he goes knight c6 though. Now I could still play h6 here, but I went rook fd1. So as you can see, black's starting to coordinate, but now I take on b7. Yeah, and I just thought here, if he wants to take my knight, I'll take his bishop. Actually, can I do that? I'm not sure. Let's see, if he takes here, I think maybe we could just take back. Now we're on the knight, and we've got that attack twice if I move my bishop. Looks pretty good. And maybe we can get the other rook in. So, okay, this is looking good. In the game, yeah, in the game he went here. And I played rook d3, tempo on the queen, queen a6, attacking that rook. But here I calculated this in time pressure, so I'm pretty happy. And I just simply took on c6. So if he takes, which I thought he probably has to, I took here. And I thought if with the queen, basically kind of the same thing, I'll just take that. And if he takes the bishop, or takes the knight rather, I thought here I could take with the bishop or the queen and this remains protected. I would probably take with the queen because it just puts more pressure there. Yeah, and if he does something like this, we're still going to get that bishop. So this should be winning. We're up a piece. I mean, what more do you want out of life, right? So, so this actually happened. Yeah, so I did take, and he went back. And once again here, and I think it was Amog Tripathi, who I've had on my channel a few times. As you know, he's a master. He pointed out that I had a really cool checkmate. Maybe he said h6 here, I forget. But I mean, computer says this is checkmate in 8. So once again, look how powerful this h6 move is. I mean, we're taking control of g7. If they take, we have that. So it's actually like, you cannot take that because you open up the rook on there. So I don't know what they do. You have g7, just double. Yeah, this looks incredibly good. I don't know how they get out of this one. I mean, if you go here trying to protect this, then I mate you. Yeah, okay, so obviously this is over. In the game, I just went here immediately. This is good. 2, queen c6. Yeah, and I stopped notating here. I end up winning the game, but I was a little sloppy, but I had seconds left in my clock, so I'm pretty happy that I still managed to put away a 1900 with no time. Oh, and this is the mate that Amog showed me. So if you want to, it's a checkmate in 4. If you want to pause your video for your final test, find this checkmate. This is a cool one. Let's sack the queen. Check, take, check, here. And now we get the blind swine checkmate. So that was sort of the point of the queen sacrifice. So, okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I was fairly happy with this one, but I also more happy that I learned that h6 idea, pawn break / disruption move. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.